What's up,
Yeah.
brother?
How are you?
Fucking busy as hell.
What are you grinding on today?
I got my townhouse is finishing renovation. Tenants moving in. Grinding out some trades. Some packages arriving here for construction at my current house.
What are you gonna do at the current house?
And my sauna and ice bath just got here.
Yeah, I'm doing electrical work on the sauna and ice bath right now too.
Nice.
Did you get permits for the townhouse or just did it?
No, Are we live?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I got permits.
Yeah, it's got permits. Me too.
Holy shit! Where's Luca?
Hopefully he's coming on soon.
Next time.
But today we have the great Luca Nets, the most resilient founder of all founders. Has created a great brand and ecosystem with Pudgy Penguins, and great to have him on.
Rocking the hat.
I got a bunch of Pudgy stuff in my office too. Hey Dom, can you wait for Luca to get on? Okay. What are we trading today?
So right now we're long Bitcoin, Pengu. We're actually long Pudgy Penguin native token. Hold on, let me retweet your stream. It's on Liquidated.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Saw a lot of people saying a lot of good things about Pengu in the last few days.
Yeah, the chart looks really good. Hold on, let me just put this link out all over.
You're on fire with the trading last couple weeks, right?
Yeah, it's been a sick. Few one.
Is Rookie still around, or he's gone?
He'll be in town till Sunday.
Oh, sweet. Back and forth, Miami.
Yep. Luca just texted me. Alrighty, I posted the link in some spots. Let's let people fill in.
When are you posting your YouTube videos? Every couple weeks?
Every Sunday.
The guy you hired is really good.
Yeah, he's great, dude. He's young, ambitious. He's good.
Where'd you meet him?
Locally. He lived in the area. He filmed my buddy surfing one time, and he DM'd me because I was in the video, and then I was like, "Yo, you got a job?" So
you're always pretty good at making those little 15-second reels too.
Yeah, I am. It's just too much time that I don't have anymore, dude. As I get older, my time is vanishing.
No, I get it.
I take too much responsibility on. It's been an insane few days, and time is flying, man. I bet you went through something similar when you started your
like law firm and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of just got to be like this for a couple of years, you know?
Yeah.
So is it like a business with like what you're doing right now, like with the trade group and everything? Does it feel like a lot of work?
Yeah, I'm giving them a lot of my time. Time is precious, but it's worth it, dude. I've made a lot of people a lot of money in a very short amount of time, which is great. The important thing is to be teaching them to keep it, you know?
Yeah, you're helping people. Like, you can't teach people to stop gambling. I mean, you could teach them all the trades, but you got to teach them how to manage their risk, you know?
Yeah. Irritated.eat says Ponzi's loud ass keyboard clicks. I'll try to keep that quieter.
No, it's not that bad.
But yeah, and the trading group thing is interesting, you know, like a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, why would you make a paid group if you're rich?" Like, at the end of the day, I think that being able to offer, like, what would you pay to go to school, right? Do you pay for a membership? Those are tools and resources. Rich people still continue to do things that make them money at the end of the day, and monetizing education is a net positive for both. If they're paying for what may be something that makes them money, then what's the issue?
And I also think it's like focusing your attention on valuable information and paying for that. Because like when you're on Twitter, if I was on Twitter in 2012, it was easy to find people I could make money and like follow. But nowadays, like whoever you have to be very selective who you follow. You're gonna get bad information.
The issue is like a lot of these kids over, like, for people who've been in the space for 8-10 years, you're a seasoned veteran, and if you've been around for long enough, then you've proven yourself, right?
Right.
A lot of these kids will make like $100,000 in their first year of trading, and then start a paid group, and then make $10 million selling shit. The difference is like I just made $1.4 million in 30 days. Probably never make that from my paid group, but what the group has actually brought me to do is hold myself accountable in my trading. And now I got people watching me, so I can't just be a degenerate clicking buttons. Like, I have to exercise how I trade, why I trade, all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
you can't lie to yourself because everything's out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My track record is, I have to be completely transparent with how I'm trading, why I'm trading, and it's forcing me to be smarter with my execution.
Probably make more discipline.
Way more discipline, dude. My fucking hit rate has been incredible since I started the group, because I'm not just like driving, clicking buttons, and then just like putting my phone down. Like, I have to, there's people who are trying to learn type shit. Yo, nice hat.
Nice hat.
Man,
dude, I need a new one.
I didn't get the memo.
Luca, I need a new one. I've abused this thing, bro. I sweat through it. It's got stains on it. I wear it every day. Can you get me another one?
Text me your address. I'll send you hoodies, everything. Eric, I sent you stuff. I sent you toys, though, for the family, right?
You got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of boxes of cards in my office, and all the plushies are in my office. My staff loves them.
Well, if you want merch, let me know. Me and Ponzi have the same swag, so I totally.
Yeah, I need to get a hat. I fucked up.
It's the best hat, dude. I don't know.
Again, I'll send you put you in a different list, the clothing list.
My jet company is currently making hats, and I was like, I don't know what you guys need to do to get this exact fit. It's structured.
It's the best fit. It's the best fit. If not, I wouldn't be rocking it all the time. But like, I'm a big hat, like trucker hat guy.
This could literally say I'm a faggot on it, and I would still rock it because of the fit.
Yeah, it fits crazy.
Who made the
hat? Peter, but the manufacturer is Otto, OTTO. So they're Auto Truckers. You'll see. Just go to Auto.
I'm saying that to my HR department right now.
Totally. I don't even know why you do the jet stuff. You make so much money. You're like the richest guy. I talked about it with Eric. So I was supposed to see Eric in LA. My schedule got super wonky, mismatched dates, whatever, and I just wasn't able to do it in person. But I ended up running into Eric at Wally's, I was actually having a lunch. And it was a fucking coinkydink. What a small world, to say the least. And I was like, dude, Ponzi just has the best life. I mean, I tell everyone I know. I'm like, anybody who knows you, I'm like, yo, this guy just has the best life, doesn't he? You do. You actually, out of everyone in crypto, you have the best life. I hope you know that.
Dude, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't, like, the money makes it easier to have a good life, but like, you also just have to have a drive to have a good life. Like, if you want to do shit, you can go out and do it, right? Like, I'm not doing anything super extravagant except for once in a while, but like, go outside.
No, it's to that point too, right? It's not even a money thing, even though you have a 3-story ceiling probably and that big.
Don't forget the wine cellar.
So that's his own thing, but you're right. Like, when I say that, I mean, for the audience who doesn't know, like Ponzi will take his plane and go fly to the Bahamas, and he will surf, and then he'll take his plane and go back home in like the same day, and then he'll go to Georgia the next day. And it's like, what is this guy doing? And he loves flying, and he's always happy. He's got a healthy relationship. He got this big house with this nice car. And it's just like, he lives a great life, dude. And he just trades and just prints. And, when you lose, you got burned that one time. You lost it all. You're not losing it all again,
No.
He learned his lesson.
He got the strategy. He pulls out in the bank account.
You can't. If you've been here long enough and you still lose it all, like, you're doing something wrong. Like, I got smoked in February, and like, I lost a significant portion of my liquidity, but like nowhere to the point where I was like sweating,
Well, the trick is, and you talked about this, and I kind of learned this on my own, is like, you got to pull it into the bank account
every time.
You got to. If you leave it in the balance, you're gonna get smoked.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Luca.
Long more than you're supposed to, or short more than you're supposed to, you're gonna get smoked. The bank account, like that is the realized profit. Your little P&L screenshots bullshit.
100%.
Like, if it's not going in the Wells Fargo or the Chase or the Bank of America, like, that is your profit in the space.
Yeah, and the last like 50 days has been a real testament to that. Like, I always keep my perps accounts really small, and I made like $1.5 million with a balance of like 150K. And every time that 150K doubled, I would withdraw, and I'd go back to the 150K. So now the account I withdrew again, it has $187,000 in it. If I blow up the account, I'm still at 1.4 million. So like my risk is always defined as what I put in this account, and the rest is a free roll, because I've been in the spot where I've turned like 100K into 2 million, and then I blew up that account, and now everything I worked for in those last 2 months is gone. And I'm like, well, what was that? Right. So it's just taking chips off the table when you play.
Do you always reload it same amount, like 150?
Depends on like my risk appetite and shit. Like if I think the market's super hot, then I'll try to do like 150 to 500. But if the market's like cold and I know it's a dangerous spot to be playing, I'll put like 30K in the account and just like, try to trade that up.
Do you play these worlds too, Luca? You trade? Or?
No, people actually don't know. Like I think I have to be a trader to keep my finger on the pulse. Like I'm trenching. Like I'm not like I got 10 meetings in a day. Like, but every night has been my routine since I was young. I got like an hour of like Netflix time. I pull up my little computer and I just start clicking buttons. It's important, right? Because I know what's hot. I know what the new narratives are, what the metas are. Like for example, like perfect example. Actually, Ponzi made me a lot of money. Doesn't know. They signaled whiff. I was like, I already know what's going on. And I just max longed it, right? So I think it was like.
Speaking of which, I'm actually max long Pengu right now.
There you go. So I was gonna say you should put that full balance in max long Pengu.
I'm actually gonna tweet this right now, because I sent it into my private paid group about an hour ago, and it's not fair for me to release that information to people who aren't paying for it. But the Pengu chart looks absolutely insane, and since I have you on here, I'll just pull it up. I'll pull up the trade that I just posted, and I'm already in profit.
Yeah, nice. Ansa posted it too. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to tweet this because it looks too good. It looks way too good.
I appreciate you, Ponzi, but no, but to me it's important, dude. Like I'm trenching. I'm doing like I don't know if I told you, Ponzi, you'll love this story, and Eric, you'll love this story too. I had 5 of the top 10 photon traders at my office 4 weeks ago. You want to hear something? They were 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Of course they were.
Cupsy in the game.
Yeah.
Dude, and they were stabled, cash, the whole 9. Like they're not like imaginary internet 8 figures up, like stabled, buying houses,
like
retiring parents at 17, dude.
Wow.
And normally those types of kids, like when I was that young, or I wasn't even that young when I first made a lot of money, but like when I first made a lot of money, like I didn't stable up, dude. What the fuck was stabling up? I was living with like $2,000 in my bank account, and I had like, all this imaginary money, and I thought I was the richest person in the world. But when it all went in kaputs, I was back to square zero. Like the fact that these kids are like parking it, sick.
Dude, they're super smart. I was mad impressed too, dude. Like there was a couple of them where I'm like, yeah, I'd hire you. I'd put you on the team. You know what I mean? Like, dude, incredibly bright. And these younger kids, they're treating it like a game. He's like, bro, we come from Fortnite.
PvP. Yeah.
This is a game to me, man. And you want to know the craziest part? You'll love this fact. Out of all of them, only one of them held trades more than a day.
Wow.
That's actually really crazy.
Yes. So they're not even swinging or catching the whiff from 10 cents to $4. They're like the best one. I won't say his name. You guys all know him. The best one's like, I'm in trades in and out. I'm taking 50 trades a day. I'm in and out same day all the time, holding nothing. I sleep with nothing. I'm like $20 million in stables realized. I'm like, dude, you fucking madman.
What are these guys' origin stories? Just video game players, or are they
bro? Origins craziest one, and I'm not going to say any other names so nobody would know. One of them was putting towels away in Lifetime up where Ponzi lives. Dude used to work at the Lifetime where Ponzi lives, throwing towels away, like cleaning up towels in Lifetime. The gym, like the towel boy. Yeah. And he was like, I turned one soul into 14 million, 15 million. I'm like, you're kidding. In 6 months. I'm like, bro.
I mean, that's the greatest thing about cryptos. Like I met Ponzi and Rookie and all these guys, like they're 22 years old. I'm the oldest guy here. I'm 43. And like all great stories. Like parents are postmen or whatever, live in the basement, and all of a sudden Rookie's the man. It's like the best stories ever.
Yeah, but Eric, you're a Chad too, though. You got to give yourself a little bit of credit. You're the Bitcoin guy. Right, Eric?
Dude, he's the most underappreciated Chad, because he literally outperformed the entire group chat by being a Bitcoin maxi and doing nothing except for holding Bitcoin since the beginning, and now he has, fucking mid 8 figures in crypto. And
And he
every dude, it's so
constantly
funny.
buys the Bitcoin. I've
He's
been
10
seeing
times
that.
richer than me, and he'll call me and he'll be like, "Dude, how can I make money trading like that?"
Well, when I see you make 1.4 million on perps in a week, I'm like, hey, bro, like, what do I do? Tell me what button to click, you know?
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're winning, dude.
Eric,
Yeah.
you're still doing law. Laws are your full-time thing, right? You're just,
Yeah,
and just
law's my full time thing. Like it keeps me busy. The boxing stuff really keeps me busy. But you know how it goes. Like Luca, your week's probably 80 hours a week, and you got to pull up the DGen computer for an hour every night. You know, like Elon Musk has to play his video game every night. You know what I mean? It's like we're
It's
sick.
fun. It's the best part of my day. I'm not gonna lie. I go
Yeah.
scan everything. I'm like, where's the making money? I actually made a shit ton on this launch coin. Because
Nice,
I
same,
know
dude. Same. I'm
dude,
up 2,500 soul on that shit.
dude,
That's
I know
cool.
I know Ben from D2C. So Ben was a founder of a company called Nugs. And I knew Nugs. So I was vegan for a while. So like Nugs was like one of the great like vegan, direct to consumer brands. So I knew he was nasty. And Peter just wouldn't stop talking about it. And I bought it at like $1 million market cap. And I bought it on the app. Dude, I turned like $1,000 into like almost 100 G's.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just because I knew the kid and I was like, he's not going to fumble this. He's not going to pull the plug on this. I know he's trying. And I've talked to him. I tried to actually get him to build on Abstract, but Solana was the right choice for what he was doing. But nonetheless, like that was crazy. And then another one was like the same bid on like, I turned like $500 into like 200 G's on Butthole. That was a crazy one. That
Trenches
one was
are hot again, dude.
Yeah, I did that. I did that at the end of the year. I did that when Pengu launched. I just saw this ticker Butthole, and I'm pretty big in Fartcoin. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but the Pudgy community is like big Fartcoin cabal. That's I think the big win of the Pudgy cycle outside of Pengu and Pudgy Penguins. And I was just like, saw this. Some dude tweeted the ticker at like 300K, and I was like, I put like $600 into it. Thing ran to 100 mil. I was like, dude, I was so stoked.
That's crazy.
You had last couple of days, right, Ponzi? Which ones did you tag?
Yeah, I hit some crazy cooks. I hit Goon. I hit last night I was on the phone with this guy I'm working with, and somebody sent both Glonks into my group chat, and I fired 5 soul each as soon as they launched at like 100K market cap. Walked away. I'm on the phone. 17 minutes later, I walk back to my desk. I'm up 70 grand from 10 soul, and I'm like, what? Like, didn't even process this. I probably would have sold earlier if I saw it, and then I just started clipping out. I was like,
Trenches are different, bro.
Crazy hot right now, super hot.
But hyper liquid perps on some of these, dude. I'm starting to get back in the perp game. I was trenching more than I was perping, and then I've just been perping lately. I'm like, dude,
perps are dangerous because of leverage, so you can just kind of evaporate your privilege if you don't know what you're doing, and that's what a lot of
I
kids.
just put tight stops. Just put tight stops on that shit, dude. Have a plan.
I just randomly sent Ricky money and didn't tell him, and then he bought memes for me. So I don't want to be involved. It worked.
Did it work? Is that what you're doing, Ricky? Because I'll send you some money if that's what you're doing.
No. He said rookie.
Yeah.
Rookie's a different animal, man. He's the complete opposite of the kids you just mentioned because he buys like 1% of every token to ever exist and then just holds it.
It never sells. Yeah.
Never sells. And then ends up with, almost 9 figures in fucking.
But he sells at some point, no?
No, bro. We had a talk. We had a serious talk. He just came to my house and we had a serious talk. And he knows he's wrong because he lives like he's poor, bro. He's the richest person I know. He lives like he's poor. He doesn't put money in the bank. Maybe he has a few million in the bank, but he doesn't like sell tokens. He has, if I named the tokens he has 1% of, you wouldn't believe it. He has 1% of all these fucking coins, doesn't sell them. Sometimes he doesn't sell them because he feels bad too. Like he would ruin the token, and I'm like, it's a PvP game, bro. That's the game we play. Like sell the fucking coin. So he's like, yeah, I think I got to start selling shit and like putting money, and spending my money, and I think he's heading towards the right track. So he'll probably take profit this cycle,
It's funny you bring that up because we're just talking about it from a company perspective, and like we were doing like financial forecasts and whatever. And I was like, I told the guys, I was like, you cannot be in the business of selling tokens. It's a horrible business. One, because like it's even the actual like stomaching of it. Like I couldn't imagine like me, like when things start unlocking I couldn't imagine me sitting there and being like, I'm just going to dump on the people that I've been basically built a family with for the last 5 years and just market sell in their head. It's like a really fat, I'm like, it's not a good, there's a feeling to it if you actually have some empathy, and I'm an empath. So if you actually have some empathy about like the people on the other side of it, is like, dude, trading is, I don't mind trading with my own cash, but it's an interesting lens because like some founders, I'm like, dude, I know dudes that are T-whopping hundreds of millions on some of these coins, and I'm like, dude, how you got some? You are savage. I wish
These
I
are
had that.
the realist dumpers.
Not the right incentives.
No, it's fucked. It's fucked
Yeah.
up for sure. But yeah, rookie, you got to tell. I mean,
take profit is what I'm telling Ricky. But at the same, and as in regard, if you looked at his Bybit P&L, 8 figures, same thing. Like, so he'll make millions on Bybit and stuff, and then just like he'll take that money out. But like he doesn't sell his fucking spot coins. It's hilarious. The other day, last fall, he bought a coin. It was like Vitalik's cat. And he fired like, I don't know, 40 grand into it, and it ended up running to like 2 million. And I'm like, dude, you gotta sell. And he's like, no, bro, I can't. Like, what if the people that are the community, like they're like a hardcore community, they're gonna like find me and stuff. I'm like, bro, what? I was like, sell the fucking coin, dude. What are you talking about here?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, out of all the groups I've met in crypto, your guys' little group is like one of the coolest, and I would say probably highest integrity too.
Yeah,
I know Rookie's like one of the kindest human beings I've ever met. Don't even know him that well, but dude is so kind. I'm like, what is this guy?
He's changed so many people's lives and done so much for so many people. It's like, and he's like, how old is he? 21? Like, I'm just kidding. He's like, I'm joking, but he's like, he's a young kid. It's like incredible the things he's done for so many people. But like our group of guys is really solid. It didn't start that way. We've got rid of a few guys, but like,
we had to trim the fat at some point.
The core group of these guys, like, I mean, they're my best friends. These are my real friends. Like a lot of, I don't have a lot of friends in LA. These are my good group of friends, my crypto guys.
No, I've noticed it. You guys are like a brotherhood, and you guys all roll with like, and it's out of all the groups. If I'm gonna go full time any group, and I wasn't doing this, I'd be like, yo, Ricky, initiate me.
Yo, I try to call you, man. I try to get you to do things.
No, I do. I just love to. I'm honestly, Ricky, if I'm being frank, and my guys will tell you about this. Like, I live vicariously through you, bro, and your Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I swear, I just see it, and I'm there. I'm there in spirit. I'm on that plane. I'm in that water. I'm in that casino. I'm at that wedding. By the way, congratulations, Trader Maine. You know what I mean? I'm in that palace. You know what I mean? That you're sitting in. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm getting there.
In the bathtub. But Luca, what's your week like? Show Ponzi what a real week is for you.
Yeah, Luca, dude.
I want to know.
Please.
Can I? I mean, dude, it's disgusting meetings. I can just show you. I mean,
I think you showed me your calendar once, and I was like, nah, not a thing.
I can show you. Here, let me screen share. Window. I just imagine I fucking put some shit that. Let me make sure. Let me delete some tabs because these motherfuckers love to fucking figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
When abstract token?
When Pengu's at all-time highs, brother, you got to help us get there.
Oh, it's ripping right now, honestly.
Keep it going.
I love the chart. It looks so good.
Dude, it was brutal there for a minute, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, look, I'll show you my calendar. Window. Definitely not that. Igloo calendar here. That's tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. See that?
No, you gotta, Eric. I think you gotta accept his screen share.
My tech guy's not here. Dom, can you screen share?
Once he accepts it.
Yeah, you gotta accept it. There it is. I think this is it right there.
See it?
Yeah.
There we go. That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. It used to be a lot more fucked up. I mean, if I went back, like,
do you have a performance coach?
Yeah,
you do. You speak to one.
Yeah, it used to be really fucked up, man.
I started with one last week.
Yeah, Eric just started with the same one Keyboard uses, and I've considered it, but it's just too much money, man.
I think the guy's legit.
Yeah. Eric, I might need that number. Send me that number because
I'll send it to you. The guy's really good. I do therapy too, but this guy's really good. The performance coach. Yeah, and like Maine uses them, and Alex on the breakout guys.
Yeah, he's famous but very expensive.
I'm actually gonna have him on Liquidated in like a few weeks.
Oh, I would like to listen to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like an addiction therapist on the next couple months too, because like, this is some degen shit what we do every day. You know what I mean? So. Like I want to like really get into that stuff because I think it would help out a lot of kids out there,
Yeah,
dude, this shit is hard. This space is hard, man. Like I The mental health part, you got to take care of yourself, dude.
Yeah.
What do you do for that?
Dude, I started to go out in the sun, and I've been like the antithesis of working out. I used to think like working out was silly. Like, look at you bozos working out. And
That's
hitting the
that's
gym.
what I used to think too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you schmuck. You're
Yeah.
a schmuck. And in reality, dude, I'm starting to play basketball and pickleball and hit in the gym, and I'm starting to feel good. I'm starting to sit in the sun. And that really has helped me, man. Just like really putting, if you notice, I'm now blocked out on my calendar, like walk the dogs, eat, stop working. Because I used to, people don't know, for that first 2.5 years, it was actually 7 days a week, all the time. Like I was just trying to win. And then I started to burn out right before Pengu. And then we were like, we just got to push. And so I really pushed myself to the brink. And then actually, like, dude, when it was down only and I realized I couldn't do anything about it, I was like, man, like if I don't have my wealth, like I gotta get my health, man. And I just really started to focus on that. Now I think I'm the best version of myself because I actually have really started taking care of myself. And I went from 12-hour days to 10-hour days, but I'm so much more efficient now. I'm so much more productive. I'm so much more sharp. And I didn't realize I was on the brink of really crashing out there for a second because like I had just been doing it for so many years. Like, for example, I didn't go to Dubai. I went to the Medici Institutional Conference instead, so that's why I was in LA. But usually the old me would have went to Dubai and would have went to the other thing and then would have went to, and I would push myself to the absolute physical limit for like what, right? And I'm just not doing, I don't need to do that anymore. I actually perform better when I'm not pushing myself to the limit and when I'm actually enjoying what I was doing. There was a moment there I was like, I kind of hated it because I was like, dude, I'm doing so much, trying everything physically to put it on my back. But then like, I was like, well, I'm not thinking smart. I'm thinking hard and like trying to work hard when in reality, like work hard, work smarter, not harder, think smarter, not harder. And I think that's been a big epiphany for me as of recent.
Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself? Like, do you like really press yourself like with the things you do, or how is your mentality?
The thing is, I didn't even know this about myself until the crypto shit. But for me, like, fuck the money because I know the money will come, right? Like, dude, I only care about winning, bro. And it's fucked because it does create this like a little bit of a PvP environment. Like within the NFT communities, I know some of these guys hate me, but like at the end of the day, my holders want that from me, right? Because I'm going to win and I'm going to compete and the prices are going to go up and you're going to make money, So my community loves it. Anybody who's in the sphere and is betting on this and Pudgy and me is like fucking stoked. But there is definitely a little bit of this like PvP culture I've created a little bit because that's what drives me. Like crypto, the scoreboard's on CoinMarketCap, bro. Like I check that shit every day. The scoreboard's on Blur. Like I can totally see if I'm fucking winning or not. And if I see what other dudes are doing and I'm not up there with them, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out the sauce or the in between. So like, honestly, dude, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because it's going to eat me alive, but it's a blessing for, I think, the people who bet on us. But like, dude, it's all about winning for me. It's all about being the biggest and the best. And, did we have the biggest airdrop of all time? Like I was trying to push for the biggest airdrop of all time. That was like our thinking internally. It was like the 8th biggest one. But I'm like, I just want to be I want to be the king of this shit.
Have you always been that way? Like since childhood? Like you always been pressing? Like
I've been a sports dude. So I've always been a sports dude.
But
in business, I was never like that because like I was always doing my little businesses and I was making money and it wasn't really about that. Crypto just, again, the scoreboard is so everything is it's publicly traded, even when the NFTs, right? Like when we were at 3 ETH and Bored Apes were at 60, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, this is madness. And I was just fighting for it and clamoring. And I was like, dude, I know we can beat them. I know we can go. So it's a powerful fuel, but like I gotta mature past that. It's also, I gotta think bigger than the person in front of me, right? Yeah. I think there's also like an edge to that. Now, I think in the short to midterm, it's aggressive. I'm always shipping. I'm always competing. I'm always hitting up for the next angle or the next, thing to push the thing forward. But I think long term, I need to evolve out of that. I'm conscious that it's a immature mindset because winning within crypto is one thing, but I gotta think bigger, right? I gotta win on the S&P. I gotta, if I do my job in 20 years, I could be on the NASDAQ, and like that's where we've got to go.
Yeah, you're doing traditional and crypto.
Yeah. So That's how I look at it.
I said this to someone the other day, and this is like the perfect epitome of you. Someone was asking me, like, they saw me trading. They're rich, they're successful, but they saw some of the swings I put on, and they're like, "How do you get such insane results?" And I was like, "You cannot have insane results with the same mentality." And like, if a normal person heard what you just said, they'd be like, "He's insane. He wants to end up on the Nasdaq. Wants to, wants to ring the bell. He's absolutely insane." And that is how you know you're gonna win.
You're going the right direction.
And normal people are like, that makes no sense. They're
I
like,
did a
well,
thing. I did a thing. Some dude asked me in an interview the other day. He was like, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And I was like, "Well, I see a $10 billion coin and a $5 billion company and all this." And there was a large cohort that was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, go get them." Then there was like this 30% cohort of just ultra losers. It was perfect because I was like, "Okay, block, mute, block, mute." He's so arrogant. He's so like, what do you want me to be, bro? Like, this is how winners win. You guys know this. We've been around some of the most successful people in the world. Like,
yeah,
these guys have this mindset. Nobody's shy and timid and
You gotta
quiet
say it out
about
loud.
it. They
Yeah.
put that shit on their sleeve and they own it. And part of me, reason why I do that too, is because when I put it on my sleeve, if I want to quit because like I'm not interested in the money or something, I won't let my ego get tested on that, right? Like, my ego is my final fucking fail safe of like, bro, you got to dig fucking deep. And it's like, if you don't have that mentality, you're not putting that chip, then you're a fucking bench warmer, bro. You know what I mean? Because all the star players that I know in life fucking put that shit on their sleeve and they say it to the world and they manifest it and they project it and they go out and they go get it. And they have that accountability system of putting it out there to go and get it. Like, anybody who like wants me to be fucking quiet and timid about it is a schmuck. That to me is what I know losers to be. Losers are just quiet and timid and shy and go in the fucking corner and hope and cross their fingers that they do it in the background. But the way that I was brought up and the way that I understand success is you've got to put it out there and you got to put it on your sleeve.
100%.
At least for me. And it's worked so far.
No, I agree completely, a millionfold. Everyone's like, ego's the death of the person, and it is, but it's the fine balance. Like, you need ego to have drive to do these things. Like,
Totally.
if you had no ego, if you had an ego death, you'd be complacent and happy. Maybe that's what you want, right? Maybe you want to be comfortable and happy and never stress ever. But stress builds character, and if you want to excel to a degree that other people have not, it's a curse, dude. Like, the never satisfied thing is a curse. It's one of the biggest curses because you could, like my fiance, for example, will be like, "When's enough?" It's like, there isn't, right? Like, it's part of the game. It's just the hunt.
When is enough for you though, Ponzi? I mean, there must be a number. I got a number in my head. Every time I hit my number,
Dude, my number was 1 million when I was there broke and like had nothing, and then I got there and I was like, well, that was nothing, and then it was 10 million, and now it's like the real number to me
It
is
just changes. It's not a number, yeah.
It's not even a number. It's whatever it takes to build the life that I want and not ever have to consider a dollar. Like, I've gone to the point where I don't have to consider the price of a dinner, right? And that's a very small step. And then the next one is like not have to consider the price of a home that I want to build out, like a compound, right? Like, I want the farm. I want the farm with 1,000 acres and a landing strip, and I have someone tending to all of my crops, and I have animals that are grown on site, and I don't have to hear someone call me and ask me about my schedule. Like, I have someone who answers the calls for me. Like, that is to me where I can say that's enough. Like, I no longer have to worry about anything. That's whatever number it takes to get there. Maybe that's 100 million or, 500 million. But it's no longer like a digit that does it for me. It's just like, I've made a family. My kids are safe. My parents can fly private wherever they want, not have to worry about an airport. My kids can have whatever they want. They'll still have character, and I'll make them work for shit, but at a different level. So it's not really a number. It's like, get to that point.
I respect that. And Ponzi, I know you'll get it. And
Yeah.
and we'll be
100%.
adjacent farms because I have the same dream, the same vision. I'm not a landing strip, but I'll use your landing strip as I come.
Yeah, you can. I'll use the plane too. That's the point.
Where? What city? I mean, what country? what state?
Probably,
I mean,
probably Montana. Probably Montana.
Montana's sick.
Jackson, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho for sure. Me as well.
But see, that would be make it. Would be, oh yeah, tell Luca, go pick Luca up. Like, I don't know, like, what's the bill? Doesn't matter.
Right.
That to me is make it. Like,
Yeah.
Was it a fucking $30,000 fuel bill? Doesn't matter.
Right.
Made it.
Yeah. And the beauty is, it was actually fascinating to me because when we raised money for the first time, like, I wasn't really aware of like these interest accounts. Like, I wasn't that sophisticated. I mean, Pudgy's really helped me so much evolve as just as a human being and as a business person. But like we raised like $9 million and I put it into this like platinum savings in Wells Fargo and we started to get 4% on it. And I was like, dude, if I just have 100 million in here, right? And this thing is just direct depositing my 4% every month,
Nothing.
right? I'm like, dude, I don't think you can spend $5 million like without buying big purchases. It's impossible to spend fucking 5 million. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like outside of
the issue is, and if we're all super bullish Bitcoin, is like that 100 million is not going to be worth 100 million in 10 years, right? That's
I
the issue.
know.
Like having $1 million when I was 16 was you were set. If you had $1 million 10 years ago,
totally.
you fucking now what does $1 million get you? You have fucking 3-bedroom
nothing anywhere, especially
house
LA.
in Miami. Like, so the concern is that 100 million, and that's where Michael Saylor's at now. He's like money. He's like, oh, one day you'll be able to sell Bitcoin for, it doesn't matter. You'll never sell Bitcoin because the money's worthless, right? So ideally, because really you're losing on that 4%, or you're breaking even, and the purchasing power goes down. But yes, in theory, 100 mil in the bank and you're pretty fucking set. Yeah.
Where'd you learn about IP stuff? Like early days, or?
Dude,
like
I'm telling you, I knew nothing about IP. I think like I didn't even know we were an IP company until about 4 or 5 months into buying Pudgy.
Yeah.
Wait, I shut you not. We used to sit there running around in circles. Like, what kind of company are we?
So as someone who doesn't know anything about IP, can you break that down a little bit for me?
Yeah, so an IP business is really like you're in the business of creating a popular character and monetizing that character, whether it's through film or movie or TV or gaming or products like toys and action figures, right? An IP business is not condensed to any specific. It's above all else, you're in the business of creating a popular, loved character, right? And how do you get there is like, well, you do that through toys. You do that through content on social. You do that through messaging and branding and community building and, huge hero products like a game or a movie or a TV show. And so like we were always, before we came to that IP company conclusion, we were like, are we a gaming company? Are we an NFT company? What kind of company are we? We had no fucking clue. Now we had taste as the thing. So I think one of our edges in crypto is we have taste, meaning like I grew up, my first $100 was made flipping Supreme because Supreme was like, I went to school right across the street, and like we know culture, we know what's hot, we know what's hip. Peter's, been, copying brands for 100 years with his agency, like trying to figure out new iterations, etc. So like we had taste, but we didn't even know what we were, dude. We really didn't know what we were doing until the first 6 months. Like after we had ideas and fragments, and like people think I had this elaborate plan. All I knew is when I closed my eyes and I said Pudgy Penguins, I saw $1 billion company. I just knew it. And that vision and that intuition and that gut reaction, even as a trader and as a collector, is what got me into the ecosystem and ultimately convinced me to buy it. And I also knew that we were good operators and good business folk, and we knew how to do things from a marketing and virality perspective that others did not. Right. So like that's what convinced us to get here. But dude, we learned this on the fly. I mean, like we have there's been a lot of good mentors that have come to us over the last couple of years. We're listeners. So like to the point, like, yeah, I have an ego and I have a chip on my shoulder, but like, dude, I have so much humility in what I'm good and what I'm bad at. And like, I will tell you, I was not the guy to like, I didn't know how to get there. I just knew like, okay, Instagram, I have tens of millions of followers that I've, accrued over the last, 8 years through different accounts. Right. So I was like, I know we can blow up the Instagram. I know we can do this, that, and just learning on the fly, dude, learning on the fly, every conference. So, to the point that I mentioned earlier, like I not only went to every crypto conference, I went to every IP conference, right?
Who are your mentors? Like, who do you look up to? Like, do you want to be like the modern day Walt Disney, or like I'm being serious. Like
I told Peter this. I said, Peter, I can't be the modern day Walt Disney. You have to be, because I don't have a passion for creative like that. I think like if I were to compare myself to if I were to like look up to anyone, it's a crazy one. You guys are going to be left field this. It's like a Zuck or like an Elon. Elon we would get, but like I actually think Zuck gets way little because he was weird. But now that he's not weird, I feel like he was just weird intentionally. I feel like he's always been this like cool dude. But I have a lot of respect for Zuck and how he thinks of things and how he's built that org and that business.
I have a lot of friends that were early Facebook, and like they have a tremendous amount of respect for that guy.
Yeah,
like insane. Like they wouldn't work there if he left. They wouldn't work there. Like
yeah.
he holds it together, which is crazy.
think Zuck is dope, but like I like being like a free spirit, you know. Like, so I'm me at the end of the day. I want to be the best version of me because I'm a weird guy. I got my own interests and own shit that I like to do. But you know, somewhere between Zuck and Ponzi trader would be my dream.
What other stuff you like? Do you like existential stuff, or like what do you like? Like what is it?
I like to do all the stuff that Ponzi does. I love nature.
Yeah, we love all too. Like same.
Yeah. I love nature. I love animals so much, dude. I'm literally
I don't
a shelter.
trust anybody who doesn't love animals, bro. That's a massive.
Yeah, I can't fuck with you at all. Yeah, any weird animal shit, you're out of here. Yeah, dude, animals, like my dream. I literally dream every night. What makes me go to sleep is I dream about my farm, and you'll like this, Ponzi. So my farm dream is very aligned with you, but I have a difference. I want to build a castle on my farm, like they did in like Game of Thrones. So I want like a big giant stone wall.
You get a moat?
Yeah, I want all that.
Oh yeah, we've discussed this in the WeTards chat. We wanted to moat.
I want to build a castle in Wyoming, ideally an hour away from Jackson, because I think Jackson Hole's my favorite place in the world.
Never been.
Yeah, you should go, dude.
Do you like the fish?
I didn't fish in Jackson. I whitewater rafted in Jackson. If you go to Jackson in the summer, it's actually better than the winter. Don't even go in the winter, even though the skiing's epic. Go in the summer, bro, and go whitewater rafting under the Tetons. You're like in the Avatar land. I swear I thought I was an Avatar. It's so epic. I mean, up there is just what an incredible place. I think people sleep on how beautiful and awesome America is.
Have you been to Sedona?
Yeah, Sedona's the reason why I bought Pudgy Penguins. If you want to hear that
really,
story.
let's hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the story was I was, one of the co-founders and the CMO of Gel Blaster, right? We went basically from $0 to $100 million in sales in 14 months. I was this big CPG guy. I went from making a ton of cash to like, I want to build a brand and equity, and Gel Blaster just seemed like the perfect opportunity. And we hit it big. We were one of the kings of D2C and consumer product for like a year and a half. But for some reason, I didn't feel fulfilled. And then my job from CMO went from like viral marketing to like Walmart marketing. So like, if you understand the difference, like viral marketing is like take over Instagram and TikTok and like all that shit and celebrities and influencers, to like Walmart marketing is like sponsor the Daytona 500, right? Like stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like things that I don't really like doing. And so I didn't know what. I was like, dude, I need to be grateful. And I was like, I need to go to Sedona, because I'd been to Sedona before, and it was like the spiritual vortex. And like there was something about that energy. And I was like, I need to go to Sedona, and I need to go to this hotel, which is Miyamo. Highly recommend. Enchantment. It's like the best hotel, one of the best hotels I've ever been to. And it's in Sedona. And I go there, and I was like, I need to figure it out, because I don't feel like this is it.
What's the name of that hotel? I gotta write it down.
Enchantment. You'll love it, bro. It's a top.
Enchanted.
Enchantment.
It's a top 10. It's a top 10 hotel in the world, no questions. So I was like, I go there. I'm like, I want to figure it out. I had no clue. I just didn't know it was what I wanted to do. And then as I was leaving Sedona, right, I didn't find any of the answers. So I'd gone there to find some answers about like what my path is, because I didn't feel fulfilled. And the whole point of Gel Plaster was to fulfill me, right? And as I'm leaving Sedona, as I'm driving out, I remember it vividly. I see the sign exit. My girlfriend's driving to Vegas, and I see Beanie bid for Pudgy Penguins. And I was one of the big holders of Pudgy Penguins at the time. It was the only NFT that I signaled to like my own like chat that I had. Like it was like the only thing I was really bullish on from an NFT perspective, because of how universal it was. And if these were identities, I'm not going to give you that whole take. But I was like, this NFT should beat all the others. And I saw Beanie's post, and unconsciously, dude, I don't know what happened. I texted the chat. I was like, should I buy this? Should I bid on this? They were like, yeah, do it. It'd be hilarious. And I just bid it. And I made the tweet. I didn't even know what I was doing. I made the tweet.
What do you mean bid it? Was it like a public auction, or
it was a public bid? Like Beanie was like, I'll give you 400 ETH for Pudgy Penguins. I sent the tweet in the chat. I was like, bro, should I beat this bid? This seems incredibly cheap. They were like, yeah, you should. And like edging me on to do it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I basically make my own tweet, and I'm like, 750 ETH for the Pudgy Penguins, Cole Ethereum, your choice, your bet, like you or whatever, balls in your court. And the crazy part is, Ponzi, you know this about me. I don't get out. I go to my office and I go to my house. And unless you've got like a fucking private jet waiting for me going to the fucking Eleuthera, like I'm not going, right? And so like Coincidentally, though, 3 weeks prior, I had happened to be on a boat in Miami. Now, mind you, I've lived in Miami for 4 years. I've been on a boat 3-4 times. On that boat, there were 7 people, 6 of which I knew, 1 of which I didn't know. It happened to be Cole Ethereum's childhood's best friend that I was on the boat with. And so Cole had saw my tweet, didn't take me seriously. A day later, when I'm in Vegas, his best friend hits me up. It's like, yo, were you serious about that tweet? You know I'm Cole's childhood best friend? I'm like, you're kidding me. He's like, no. I was like, he doesn't think you're serious, though. But if it's serious, let me know. I was like, it's serious. Tell him it's serious. And the rest is history.
Wow. That's crazy. Yo, this may be digging too deep personally, but at the time, 750 ETH, that was like $4 million, right?
2.5.
2.5. Was that like an easy drop for you? Were you liquid to be like, yeah, fuck it, 2.5 on the thing? Or was this like you were sending it?
I was making millions a year since I was 18.
Okay.
I had fucked it up, lost some, whatever. But like, I made my first $1 million when I was 18, and I always grossed million plus dollars.
But when you committed 2.5 to this, were you in the mindset of like, oh, 2.5, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, I'm just going to torch this 2.5.
No.
Let's fucking go.
The buy was the easiest buy ever, because if you did the math, even at the lows, it was clocking in $500K a month at royalties. That's why I was so shocked I was buying it, because I was like, it can't get worse than this. And in its worst months, I was making $500,000 a month in royalties. Now, the crazy part was when I bought
royalties from OpenSea NFT trading.
Yes. So if you look at the historical Pudgy Penguin NFT royalties, it made like 2 million the first month, 1 million the second, and then it was just averaging 400,000 or 500,000 up until I bought it. And I didn't even know royalties could go to 0. And then 2 months later, after I bought it, they went to 0, and I was like,
wait, was that because OpenSea made them optional, or what was that?
No, because Blur came in, and it turned out that the royalty was a marketplace thing. It wasn't a contract thing, right? So
how much did you make on royalties then?
So the first month of Pudgy Penguins, we made 700,000 in royalties. We got the biggest boat in Miami, that ginormous 500-footer with the 4-story one, right? I booked Tory Lanez's last performance was at the Pudgy Penguins event in Miami. His last performance. If he ends up dying from these stab wounds, his last performance ever, live performance ever. I booked him because we were printing cash. I was like 700, 2.5. I was like, we made it. The next month, right? Because they bought the new, sold the acquisition, whatever. So that was a little extra. Next month we made 200. Month after that, royalties go to 0, make like 40, 50. Then we go to, and then market nukes, FTX, everything 0. And then 0, like 10, 15K. By this time, I've scaled the team up, and I'm like, shit, we're going to go broke. Like we had this whole vision, this whole plan, had to fire half the guys, put $500,000 into it. None of us got paid. So like, even when we were making money, like the whole thing was like, we're not going to pay ourselves. Like we need to build up this bank account to pay ourselves. And then it took about 12 months before we like actually got a reasonable salary to like pay a rent or pay for food or something. But all of us were relatively well off. Like all the guys, like I bought it with a group of my executive team. So they all have skin in the game and all purchased it. So they were all relatively well off. Like we weren't like feeding for $1, but definitely sucked to not get paid for a long time.
But like, don't ever kill yourself. That's all resilience. Like you were there, Ponzi. Like Trader Main landed for the CFN fights. He like FTX just collapsed. He lost like a few $1 million, and like look where everyone is now. You just got to be resilient and get through the tough times.
Yeah, never kill yourself, dude. Seriously,
dude. When I first read that line, someone tweeted like never kill yourself. I was like, that's kind of dark and like a misuse of like trying to be positive. But now I like it's the only thing I can consider. Like no matter how bad shit is, like it could be so fucking bad. And the only way it gets worse is if you kill yourself.
Yeah, never give up is probably better, but never kill yourself.
And I mean, even if kill yourself doesn't really actually mean end your life, right? But like giving up in general is the only way to make it worse. Like you could be in the darkest spot ever, and you may literally say out loud like, "Wow, there's no reason for me to be alive," and like the only way it could get worse is if you give up. If you just try again, it probably won't work. Try one more time, probably won't, but sooner or later it will. It's just
you're a great inspiration for the crypto guys, Ponzi, because like I have my story, and I'm sure Eric has his, but like you made it trading and blew it up trading, and I know a lot of these guys have been through it, man. And you came back. I remember going to your house, and you told me the story, and I was like, damn, bro, that takes some gargantuan balls to get back in that fucking ring. because
Dude,
you
yeah.
blew it up. You blew it up.
What's the quote about the man in the ring or some shit? I think
The man in the arena. That's my favorite. I have a huge 5x5 painting of that, like in one of my houses. So
That's
it's pretty sick.
What
Have
is
you heard that before, Luca?
What is the quote?
Google like the man in the arena. It's like I think it's a Franklin Roosevelt speech, but it's pretty incredible.
Banger.
You like it.
It's a real banger.
Yeah, man in the arena.
But even with like anxiety or like procrastination, like I feel like as long as you're working towards something, just doing something, it eliminates the anxiety. It eliminates like all those things and gives you purpose, gives you meaning, you know? So
purpose is key, man. That's the key to happiness right there. Whatever your purpose is, like wealth and success can't be even quantified by dollars. I think dollars are important because I think dollars create freedom, and you're not really free if you don't have money, right? Like Ponzi said, you can't go to this place because of your financial constraints. Like you're not that free, truly free.
Yeah.
But success is not derived by the money you have. I'm a believer that I think it's an important part. But like success is really purpose and what that means to you. And trust me, I know guys, the richest man I know is a middle-class man in Studio City, you know?
Yeah.
And
that's the real shit.
He's the richest guy I know, and he always will be. And he's completely content and fulfilled. And so, you know, and the thing is too, is if you think money is the definition of success, you see all these scammers, right? Like I got a machine.
And they're miserable. They're miserable.
Yeah, dude.
I've seen so many scammers that are worth 9 figs and they hate themselves. They're depressed.
My favorite quote of all time is some people are so poor all they have is money.
Yeah. But you might be able to help me with like, because I go through this, like, Luca, you made like, I want to ask questions about how you made millions. It's like 18, 19, 20, but like you, at some point when I got successful, like I hit all the goals that I thought I'd ever want to meet. And then I got like depressed. I was like, what now? And then I set like the new list of goals. I feel like maybe Ponzi might've gone through that too. I don't know. But like, how did you deal with that? Like,
yeah, I've been depressed. And I think one of the most depressed moments I've ever been is when I actually crossed $1 million. Because I grew up super poor and I was like, dude, the $1 million going to change everything.
Right.
And once I got the $1 million, I was like, oh, this super sucks. And so I was like freaking out, pacing around everywhere, like, dude, what the fuck? I gotta figure something out because this is horrible.
Right.
And that was like a really big moment. I think like gratitude is probably my like, you know, people say they're grateful, but like really living in a state of gratitude and saying you're grateful are two different things. And like my thing is like you can't ever be depressed, I think, if you truly live in a state of gratitude. Now, easier said than done. Being in a state of gratitude is a mastery. Like I don't expect anyone here to be like, I'm a master and I'm like in a consistent state of gratitude, right? But like it is something I'm working towards because I think gratitude is the kryptonite to depression and to that, right? Because if you're just grateful, man, you can find joy in everything. And like, there's 100 things I could regurgitate, like live in the present and things you've heard 100 times.
Right.
But like, those things matter, man. Those things matter. And I can tell you, like, I'm not going to pretend that like 2 months ago when my fucking baby, you know, was down 93%, that I wasn't fucking, you know what I mean? Like I was looking for that present, like that living in the presence, that gratitude. It allowed me to critically think too. And I was able to kind of remove myself and figure out some solutions and some game plans. But it ebbs and flows and it's part of life, man. You know, the tide is up, the tide is down. It's part of the game. But I think just like being grateful, man, being grateful for your family, for your friends. I mean, all of us here have an amazing network of friends and more money than I think at one point we could have imagined. So like just live in that gratitude, dude, and stay true to that. I think as long as that you hold on to that gratitude as much as possible, I think it's probably the best way that I went through it. Cause like, you know, even 3 months ago, 3 months ago was a perfect lens of perspective and gratitude. Cause I was like, okay, the token's down 90%. The Pudgy floor is higher than what it was pre-token announcement, right? If you would have told me, you know, 6 months ago that Pudgy would have a 10 ETH floor and we would have a 300, 400 million market cap token, I'd be like, that's great, right? Which is what it was, down 90%, right? When we hit that crazy low, you know? And I was like, that sounds awesome. But because it went from 4 billion to 400 million, I was like, oh shit, you know, it really fucked up in my head. But then there was perspective, right? And then gratitude. And that helped me kind of claw myself out of this like perpetual doom that I told myself for a couple of days there. was just like, dude, like be grateful and like you're still in the race and no one's blaming you. And it's just like, dude, it's part of the market. SPY went down 25%. It's only happened, 4 times in 20 years? Roll with the punches, dog. You know what I mean? And I just picked myself back up. And I'm giving you the real insight, right? And I tell the community this, like, I'm not going to pretend that everything's fucking gravy. Like, I had my days there, but it's how you bounce back, right? You get hit, you put your ass on the mat. It's how you get back up, bro, and how you start fucking punching back. And nobody knows that better than professional ass whooper Eric.
You're real.
Yeah, I think I'm most happy like when I'm super disciplined, keep my schedule, and like focus on what's ahead of me. No matter how bad the day is or how bad I feel when I wake up, that's when I'm most happy.
Yeah, Eric, how did you become a professional ass whooper? Let me ask you a question.
Well, I had problems like with discipline. I was going out and partying a lot. We were doing these retard trips every month or two. We were flying all over the world, and Ponzi was tagging along, but Ice Bags offered to fight me for CFN, and I was always a really good athlete in high school, and I was like, okay, this is like my chance to like change my life again, where I used to work like you, Luca, 16 hours a day in dark rooms when no one gave a fuck. Yeah. And then you made it. Then when you make it, you're like, okay, now what? And go through this whole process. So like I was partying, like screwing around, all that stuff. And then when I took those fights, I took it really seriously. So I got to train for 3 years, and I was still kind of training boxing, and changed my life. I think really changed the discipline in my life because I was always a good worker, but I never had a schedule. Like I would work all day, every day, but I never like when I woke up in the morning, I didn't know what I was going to do. The first thing I woke up, I just started getting after it. But I think when I put together a schedule and be more disciplined and worked out, I started like just walking like 10,000 steps a day and like fixing my diet. And then I get like really intense after that. But I think that's the way to go. Go outside, walk, have some, time for yourself. I think journaling helps too. I do the therapy stuff. That helps for me,
And you're undefeated, right?
Yeah, 7-0. So
who was your hardest fight? Who was your hardest fight? Anybody give you a run for your money? Like, oh shit, I might get fucked up here.
Yeah, this dude like had me almost knocked out. Like in Dubai, J Chains. Yeah, he fucked me up a couple times, and like this is when I was 6-0, and we're fighting for a WBC belt. So like this is like the moment, you know what I mean?
So this is just now. Is this a crypto dude?
Yeah, this was like 4 months ago. He fought in like karate combat, but he's just like a big like middle linebacker. The guy could hit, and like, yeah, man, he had me out of my legs, and I was like, dude, is this really gonna happen? Like 3 years of training, am I gonna fucking like just lose right now? And then I said, fuck no, I'm not gonna let this happen. And then I knocked him out.
So, no way. Yeah. Can I see the clip? Can you send me the clip?
Yeah, I was screaming, bro. I thought it was over for him because you see him stumble.
I was fucked up. I was out.
And then he just sleeps the dude.
Oh, dude. Because I remember watching you fight. I mean, dude, these guys, one of the best times of my life was with Ponzi and Ice Bags on that court, on the floor ring. And they were betting.
I don't know if you can see, like.
Oh, my God. You rocked his shit.
Yeah. I'll send you a video.
Wait, this was for a WBC belt?
Yeah, it was like the one like Rookie originally got one of the WBC belts. They're giving out like 3 of them, I think. Yeah. But they're sick, man. I love having one in my house for sure.
I really want to start fighting in the CFN.
You love it, dude.
I just can't afford to get knocked out, and because like I can't even imagine the red candles if I got rocked. Because the only way I can fight, just so you know, is I'd have to talk insane amounts of shit. I'd have to Conor McGregor it. I would be the Conor McGregor of CFN, and like if I got rocked, I just don't know what I would do to myself. Though I really believe I could bounce Ice Bags' head off the mat like a fucking.
Oh, I love hearing this right now. I love hearing this. I just made my buddy made a highlight reel. The guy that helps me with the podcast, and like Ice Bags in there, like smack him around, and he was like devastated. Like called me for like 20 minutes.
I swear to God, I'd smack Ice Bags around that.
Dom, send me that video. I'm gonna send it to Luca.
Dude, I'd bounce him around. That's epic. You guys gotta fight. It would be epic.
God, I can't wait to send that to him.
How's Bags doing? I mean, he kind of disappeared after that fucking bad beat on the Trump shit.
Oh, he's grinding, dude. He's working hard every day, but he's got a lot of businesses. Like how do you decide just to focus on one business? Like that's a good question because like Josh, he's got a lot of shit going on. That seems to be moving along. But like, where do you say like, fuck this? I'm pudgy pink because the CryptoPunk thing came up yesterday, right? Yeah. Like, there's probably a few things you might be like, okay, this is worth it. I'm gonna do it. But like, you got to commit to something, right? I mean,
If I bought punks, I just put those fuckers in the Louvre right next to the Mona Lisa, and I wouldn't do shit.
You don't got to do shit with them. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So the beauty is people ask me this because you'll actually see a lot of things from us over the next couple of months. Everything ties into one another. If they didn't, then I wouldn't be able to do it, right? So I've cut off all my other businesses that's not Igloo related. But like, for example, like Pudgy Penguins and Pengu, like that goes up. You notice like abstract meme coins go up. Like, what do I really need abstract to do? I need runners on the chain, right? Like, so, they support each other, and it's like, well, I have to go build on a L2 anyway, or another L1 anyway. Like, we have our own team. I think it also comes down to like, dude, I got a group of killers, man. And I took a lot of the credit because I'm the face of it. But these guys are beasts, bro. I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have a group of beasts. So the fact that like, we abstract has Saigar and like 30 eng guys who I think are cracked, and like they're just building the chain and they just need me to market it and bring community. And it's like, well, all right, let me just focus on cultivating Pudgy and, being a good leader and interfacing and doing that whole shebang. And then that kind of ports over to abstract. And then, all the things help each other. So if you notice, like, I want to build an ecosystem where like Pudgy helps this and this helps that and that helps this. And if this wins, everything wins. And if that wins, it helps this one win. If it doesn't all tie into each other, then I'm not doing it. But you'll see this from me, I think, over the next 6 months, because I think we're really going to shake up the space here. It's all one business, but there's different levers and different teams within the business that I think help the flywheel and the ecosystem go, if that makes sense.
And how do you find good people?
Hardest part. We got insanely lucky with Saigar. We shot in the dark. I just saw his Twitter. I was like, this guy's goated. This guy seems smart. Lorenzo interviewed him because Lorenzo's a tech guy, and like we got so lucky. That was a gem.
Wait, who's Saigar?
Saigar is lead dev of Abstract and like a really big like dev KOL.
How do I spell it?
OX Saigar. OXCYGAAR. He's goated, bro. I've never met a tech guy like this. Like we really found like crypto's like one of crypto's great crack devs. And I'm like, ugh. And then he has all the friends, right? So he's like CTO KOL. So all the great engineers follow him and want to work with him. So he just recruits like a madman. So he's got that figured out. And then Pudgy, it's been just like 3 years of filtering. And, we bought this with a group that I thought was nastier than any other group that I thought was currently here in terms of like team. And then we kind of just built from our network. But that's my superpower probably is my network. And, I've been a really positive influence to the young generation. Like a lot of the young talent really loves me, right? So I'm able to like attract that young talent. And our group is young. Like a majority, I would say of the 115 people in the Igloo, I would say like 75 of them are under 30. 70 of them are under 30. Like we're a young, but we're fast, we're movers, you know what I mean? And then like the people that I think that need to be older and need that experience definitely fill those holes in like finance and operations and things like that. But like my whole marketing, creative team, all that, like we're under 30, dude. And that is like directly from, I think, my network and the reputation that I've been able to build over the last 7-8 years.
Were you always an entrepreneur? Or did you like work for someone?
Always. I was selling lemonade at 12. I was selling weed at 15. I was selling sneakers at 15 and Supreme at 15.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up all over the world, but I spent my conscious years in Los Angeles. So like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Los Angeles.
Was there anything like in your childhood years that like shaped your entrepreneurial mindset, made you Luca?
Yeah. So I lived in 14 places in 10 years, and if you asked me what my superpower was, I would tell you marketing. Yeah. And marketing is about people and perspective and understanding how to communicate. And so we were homeless like that. We didn't have our own home. So that's why we bounced around. It was guest bedroom to couch. But I lived in some of the worst hoods in LA, and I lived in the Hamptons in a $20 million house, right? Like that was the duality of my childhood. And it would bounce, right? We'd go to the Bronx, then we go to Battery Park, then we go to the Hamptons, then we go to South LA, then we'd go to Beverly Hills. So it wasn't all like horrible. It was really just like who would take us in at the time. But like it gave me that perspective. Lived with white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, black people. You know what I mean? So like I know I have like I think a good understanding on how people think. And that I think has given me my superpower, which is my marketing ability.
I feel the same way. That's like most of the groups of my friends. Like I have like black friends, Korean friends, running my law firm. You get a huge perspective of different types of businesses and people and culture.
Totally.
And then you become, able to deal with any type of person. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's what I love about being a lawyer is like you run into so many different types of people, businesses, but it's hard. Like as an entrepreneur, if you only know like, one certain thing, it's hard to learn all these things as a young man, unless like it gets thrown at you. You just kind of learn as you go. Where'd you start when you're 18?
My first big break was throwing underground rap shows in South LA.
That's sick.
So I was so I'll tell you that I tell this a lot. I've been saying this a lot lately, but it's a cool story. I was the second person to book Playboy Cardi in LA when he had like 50,000 followers. I was the first person to book Suicide Boys when they had 10,000 followers. Suicide Boys ended up
they're huge.
Yeah. Sesh Hollow Water Boys, Puya, Fat Nick, which Ponzi reminds me of Puya a little bit. But like I was booking all these crazy underground rap shows in LA, and that's how I made my first like 30, 40 grand. And then I got a job at Ring Doorbell because I turned 18. Like there was underage drinking. I was getting away with all the shows previously because I was 17 and the contracts weren't binding. But my first hustle was first ever $1,000 I made was a party with my friend of mine named Nathan. And then once I saw that, I was like, bro, I made more than my mom this week. It's over.
Wait, you said 100,000?
1,000. First
okay.
$1,000 I ever made was a party. And then I was like, well, how do I get people to the party? I was like, well, book a rapper, And I was like, well, I'm throwing shows now instead of house parties because house parties were lame and too much risk.
What'd you do after that?
So after that, I got a job at Ring Doorbell. And then my big break, how I made my first million was drop shipping. And everyone, I love it. The CT Peanut Gallery, or I say a lot of CT is great to me, but the CT Peanut Gallery is like, you're drop shipping scammer. I'm like, bro, how the fuck is a fucking kid who's 18 years old with 25 grand to his name supposed to fucking make $1 million? And I actually think drop shipping is an amazing business for somebody to get to zero to their first $1 million. I mean, this idea that I can sell anything online, if it has a listing on Amazon or Alibaba and then arbitrage it through my Shopify store and sell it to the next person is quite literally one of the greatest entrepreneurial.
No, and I mean the craziest concept about that is like 90% of retailers, that's how they operate.
That's how they operate, exactly. But because I'm like wear it on my sleeve that I was drop shipping, some of the peanut.
Yeah.
That kid Gio that met at Wally's, Luca, he's making like $250K a month doing drop shipping. He's like 24-year-old kid that sold a business for like 180 mil. Smart kids out there, Ponzi. We lose Luca?
Yeah.
We'll wait till he adds back. How you doing, buddy?
Just firing away, brother.
Making more trades or what?
I'm trying to decide if I should hold this Bitcoin long or not. I don't know. I've been in and out of it, which probably means I'm oversized, which probably means I should dial back.
What's that right now? 103?
103.3. 103.3.
What else you do in your house?
Dude, the ice bath is actually, let's see if it's cooled down. I just set it up. I'm pretty stoked about that. Let's see.
Is it like ice, or is it like a cold dip?
It's the cold dip, the plunge.
Yeah, the plunge one. It's actually the sauna's really good.
Man, this thing takes a while to cool down, huh?
Yeah, it takes a while.
There he is.
My phone died. Can you hear me?
You were on your phone?
No, my computer died.
Nice.
Got plugged in.
I've been meeting some rich traders lately. I'm at you met this Brandon Hong guy yet? Eric met me when I met him.
Oh, was that okay?
That was him. I was like, dude, he just texted me. He's like, Pengu's got a huge gap to fill. I'm like, yeah, man. Fill it.
What, is he on Twitter?
Yeah, Brandon Hong. He made like 25 mil on Trump.
Brandon Hong.
He's one of us, young dude, cool guy, smart guy.
Nice.
He was at Wally's with the other guy?
Yeah.
Who was I with? I was with the Liquid Fun, Arca, and then I met up. I saw Frank and I saw Thread. They really did Frank bad, man.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, I'm sure he's doing fine, right? He's just doing his thing, right?
He's doing fine. He rolls with the punches, but people forget he was one of the great crypto entrepreneurs. Truly, not even Fugazi. Everyone called him a hype man and all that shit.
Yeah,
I saw the behind the scenes there. This kid is a real talent. He was a real talent, and I know he wants to get back into building. It's just like they just bullied this guy even when D-Gods was at the top, bro. I never got it. Why did they bully him so much, dude? When it was. He always got bullied.
When I didn't know who Frank was and D-Gods was becoming a thing, there were some cringe moments that stuck out to me as like that's pretty lame. But I got to know Frank like over the last year and is not the person I thought he was on the internet, and way better of a person than I had imagined before I knew what even D-Gods was really at the time.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me. I guess I always interfaced with him like IRL, so I never got to like see that third party. Like the second I saw him, like, dude, people don't know. Like, I studied the shit out of him. We fucking ripped so many things from his playbook from like a marketing and attention and crypto perspective.
Well, it worked, right? Like he got D-Gods pretty high at one point.
Did really well.
1,000 soul at one point, bro.
I love Thread. Thread's a great guy.
Yeah,
dude, Thread is a great guy too. They gave him a bad beat, and it's like, you know what they do to them? They're like insiders and whatever. I'm like, yo, hold on. You guys know crypto. There's two cohorts in crypto: the people who have the alpha and the people who are just clicking buttons on.
It's a PvP game, and everyone's literally at the casino.
And all the dudes who win have alpha.
Yeah,
it's all
everyone
alpha,
knows the rules.
Bro, go sign up to an F&F group. Go start paying the fee, man. If you want to start complaining about that shit, but like to say that like somebody, and you know the crazy part is I was with them. And there was this thing, I won't even call it, but people were like calling them on one of their recent trades. They were like, look at these scammers. They're pumping and dumping again. I was with them literally just a week ago whenever I saw you, Eric. And this dude, Frank, was down a gargantuan amount of money, pulling his hair out, pacing. I was like, this is not the look of a dude who's like insider bundling. And I was like, if only you guys knew, you know, but like no one's going to take me on it. No one's going to hear fucking, chatting with you guys. But I was like,
yeah, your mic's
pulling his hair out over Thread guys. Like, how do we? They're like freaking out.
Look at your mic's tripping. Your mic's tripping.
Oh shit, my mic's tripped, huh?
Okay. Sounds like you're a robot.
Oh shit.
You're a photon trader now. What do you think, Ponzi? Should we try if we cut it if it's too much or?
What, Luca?
No, not Luca, but like if he keeps having issues. Don, we gotta let Luke in again. Are you gonna get another plane soon?
I'd like to, but I need to stop spending money, bro.
How do you like that new car you got?
It's great. It's great. It's a sleeper.
It's fast.
No one really knows, you know.
What about Lens? You got a Land Rover or what?
Yeah, she's got the Range Rover.
That's a nice car, man.
I love the car.
I actually never liked those cars until I won yours.
Dude, everyone's a Range Rover hater saying they got problems and shit, but I love that thing. I've never had a problem with it. I had one little problem with it, but I anticipated it.
Everyone I talked to has had problems with that car, but it's dope to drive.
Funny. Babe.
You been gambling with Rook?
Dude, we're retarded. He came over. We lost. We split 25,000. We each put 12,500 on shuffle and then torched it in like an hour. And then we went to the casino with 40 grand and we both lost.
40 each?
20 each.
The keyboard showed up?
No, that was the week before.
Did you get a free dinner at least?
We didn't eat dinner. my host texted me and was like, hey, man, we'd love to have you for a complimentary dinner and a few nights at the hotel. I'm like, yeah, dude, I bet. Sure
Mike,
you would.
I was supposed to go to Vegas this weekend. My coach is fighting UFC.
No.
I my coach fighting UFC, so I wanted to go, but like I guess it's at the Apex. So I guess it's like it's not really a stadium. It's like there's only like 2 rows of people there. So it's like sold out. I can't go.
Good, dude. Stay away from Vegas. That place is
Vegas
it's the worst thing for you.
Yeah, it's not a good place for me.
No. Top 5 worst things for you at all time.
Yeah, for sure. LA's not great either. I really like San Diego. I got to get down there, or Boca.
Come to Boca, man.
When hype hits $60, I'm gonna buy a house in Boca.
What is hype at? Let's see.
25, something 26?
Dude, if hype goes to $60, Flood's a billionaire.
No way, really?
Pretty close.
I mean, he's got to be at 9 anyway.
Yeah. But he's the flight king, the hype king. Luca just texted me a few times.
He's in his 20s too, right?
Yeah. I won't dox anymore. He said phone overheating. That's it for me, boys. Appreciate you.
All right. We should cut it or something.
Yeah, probably. I gotta get back to work. I'm dilly-dallying over here.
Let's do a fishing trip. That sounds fun.
Super down for that. We can do fishing here though in Florida. If you just come to Florida, we can go fishing.
Yeah, but I kind of the river rafting sounds cool too. So
yeah, I want to go see. I'm down to go do a fucking health and wellness retreat type shit out in Wyoming or Montana or that kind of thing.
They got really good ones in Bali, but I'll be down in Montana. I like that stuff. My dad was like a big hunter, so I used to do all that stuff a lot.
That's sick. I love that.
Well, I love you, Ponzi. We'll figure out something. Yeah, that was really fun, man. Luca's an incredible guy, huh?
Yeah, he's sharp. He's super sharp, man. I bet on him for sure. I consistently bet on him.
No, but it's like a little different. Like he's got fucking passion. You know what I mean?
Super passion.
Bleeds passion.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I actually learned a lot. Like I learned a lot today. Like that's great.
Yeah, when you come down here, we'll go hang out with him. We'll get him out of his shell because I try to hang out with him all the time, but he's too busy, man. He really does bury himself with work consistently.
Yeah. Well, God bless him, man. Some people gotta make the world go round. You know what I mean?
Real.
All right, brother.
All right.
Later, guys.